Welcome to the Salt Stands Alone podcast, coming to you from inside a blizzard. It's Hank. It's me. Hi. I'm alone. Snowed in. Everything's closed. Magic the Gathering continues. Gladiator Events started back up this week, and I played in a Gladiator event. I went 3-2 with my Moist Abzan list. And I lost to friggin' aggro. I beat the ramp combo decks, but I just lost to getting punched in the face. That's a little frustrating, because I feel like my deck should be able to beat that, but sometimes they just fucking... I got put in the dirt. I want to put people in the dirt. I got put in the dirt. Don't like that. But I built the... But I did manage to beat the trickier decks. The more complicated games. Rather than the games where I just got punched in the face until I died in like 4 turns or whatever. Ugh. That's been fun. Artisan Gladiator continues. I played another round of the Async League. I am now 3-0? 3-0. So I'm feeling pretty good about my deck. Interestingly, all the Abzan decks lost this week, I think. Which is interesting for a deck that I kind of think of as like the deck for the format currently. But guess what? Red is a very good color. Maybe you should play red cards. I don't know. They seem pretty good. There's some aggro beating them up. Oh, I think also there is blue-white flying men. Also one. Tempo. Aggro. I got to do shrine stuff, as is my want. Yeah, I've seen some movies. I made my video, my short. I posted as a short, my review of No Other Choice, which is fucking incredible. Like most of Park Chan-wook's movies. It was really good. And it made me feel things. And you get to see some visuals. And just like, I've never seen a movie do that before. Okay, that was fucking sick. And then I also saw All You Need Is Kill, which is a new animated CG anime adaptation of that light novel that was also Edge of Tomorrow? Is that what they called it? Now I can't remember the Tom Cruise movie. It's Emily Blunt. In this adaptation, it gender flips the perspective to where it focuses on Rita's character and like changes some stuff. So you're with the person going through this the first time, and you're with her as she goes, I need a sword. I need a bigger sword. I need a stronger sword. I need this axe. I need a bigger axe. And that's fun. And there's some YA romance stuff in the movie too. It's like in some ways closer to the light novel, and obviously like also very different because they've completely changed the perspective character, the main character of the story, for I think And I think for the better. I think it's better, honestly, than how the original story plays out. There's a part near the climax where it's like, and now we're gonna trauma dump and have this conversation with each other. It does break the whole flow of the thing, but I didn't really mind it. I'm not like over the moon for the movie, but it was good. I had a good time. Solid. I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd or whatever. Where I had no other choice. That's a 5 out of 5. That's a 10 out of 10 movie. Yeah, I'm gonna be trying to see more movies this year. Gonna start back up on my thing of ranking all of them. So no other choice at the top. Movie I've seen in the theater this year. All You Need Is Kill, right below it. We got 2 so far. Can't go to the movies while the movie theater is closed because it's snowing. So nothing today. And yesterday I was playing Magic. I went to the Strand bookstore after seeing the movie for the first time in years at this point, which was my go-to used bookstore in Manhattan. Because it's the biggest one. And they'd moved the comic book section into like the middle of the ground floor instead of being on the second floor. And I kind of hate it. I mean, obviously I hate it because it's change. But it was not like a comfortable place to look through stuff. Because I feel like I'm in the way more. But I found I bought a Spider-Man art book and a couple Jules Pfeiffer books that are like Jules Pfeiffer's Tantrum, and I forget what the other one was. It's a collection of stuff, his cartoons. And they were cheap. That was the main thing. Like there was also, I thought about buying Batman and Robin Year One, which is a comic I want to read, but it was like full price. I'm like, I don't need to pay $30 for this book. When it will be cheaper later or whatever. So that was interesting. Like there's stuff like they had Cardcaptor Sakura manga books, but they were full price, and they're not even full price on online sellers. So the things I really wanted, the prices were not correct, but c'est la vie. I found some cool stuff I would not have gotten otherwise for cheap, and that's cool. It's cool to go to a place and come out with a thing that was not what you were looking for, but you do think is neat. It's fun. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think after 3 weeks just talking about Magic, I feel a little spent on the topic. I will talk about some Lorwyn cards, how I'm feeling about them. Formidable Speaker or whatever, the 3-mana elf that you discard a card and you get to search for any creature. A little creature tutor for 3 mana. That's also a 2/4 that can untap a permanent. That card seems really fucking good. I'm a fan. I like that card a lot. The other cards that I've had the most fun with are the new Evoke Elementals, particularly the green ones. The green-red one, and there's a green-blue one. I just find they play pretty well. Like, the green-red one really plays very well because it can just be red-red removal. But they both, I feel like they play well. Where, like, you get to put this big dumb idiot in your deck that you don't really, under normal circumstances, like again, I know I'm talking about Gladiator. I wouldn't normally spend a slot on it, but because you can evoke them for an immediate value, it feels like you can afford the slot. Like I was building this Scape Shift Turns deck based off of and I mostly based it off a Canlander list. And they had an artifact enchantment removal spell. They could also hit the graveyard. And I just replaced that with one of the evoke elementals because you can green it to destroy an artifact or enchantment, although it doesn't serve the spot graveyard removal part. But the trade-off of just being able to play this big dumb idiot in my deck that's like built to get to 5 mana, that felt really good. It just felt solid. Sometimes you just want big creatures, and it's the thing that like I always want in my deck, but when I'm deck building, I just want to cut all that stuff. But when they have these other modes, and it's just like a kicker version is the big thing, and they're thick. I like it. And it's like, and they're more impactful effects than Quantum Riddler. Although Quantum Riddler is also an absurd Magic card that I should be playing more. But the 2 mana part of it feels so bad in Gladiator a lot of the time. Like I feel like that card feels better in 60 card where you can really build your deck to aggressively dump your hand, and you get the full value out of its enter the battlefield effect, which is when you have it's draw a card, but when you only have one or fewer cards in your hand, you get to draw an extra card. And that's incredible in a deck that's efficient and just pumping out like multiple of them. Like that, it becomes fucking absurd. And going and I'll also say going Jackal from Spider-Man who doubles creatures. And when you can Jackal into an elf, into a Badger Mole Cub, into a Formidable Shaman, into an Ouroboros, into a Quantum Riddler, and you get double of all those creatures, and then Ouroboros on all of them, that feels fucking good. Unfortunately, I played a standard deck that was mono board wipes, and it was also mono remove cards from your library, like all copies and all 4 copies of them. And I just like, because there's a board wipe that does it if you collect evidence, and there's an avatar card that's a Firelord Ozai or whatever, I think. Some Firelord black card. That also exiles a card from your library in all 4 copies. And they just took all my Ouroboros and my Quantum Riddlers, and now my deck was like mostly lands and like couldn't kill them. that felt bad. But I had a build of I was playing best of 1, so I have a build of the deck that had like no answer for a board wipe. Like I was just like, yeah, if you have board wipes, I'd probably lose. I don't know. How far will this get me? Like immediately punished. Which tells me that people are not playing some other decks, because there's some other decks that would be pretty fucking It should, like, the board wipe thing should not bother them. But I don't know. I guess Lessons cares about it because you do want your Gran, but that seems bad. It seems like a bad matchup. Yeah. But yeah, so we're closing in on the end of this artisan event. So then I'll have my data. So then I'll make my artisan video that I should just get started on because I think now it's close enough that I can start on it. Because what decks are going to be 4-0 after, and at the end of the league is like, it's a limited number. So it's worth talking about kind of all the decks that are at the top. And then and then there'll be some other 3-1 decks that I'll also want to give extra shoutouts to. Presumably Aristocrats decks. Well, Aristocrats is going to get a shout out no matter what. That deck was important because it was like the most played thing at the start of the people playing that game, that format in LFG. Which they are not anymore. There is very little Artisan Gladiator going on in LFG currently. It is mostly We're mostly moved to regular Gladiator, and it kind of got kicked back into gear with events starting back up. People getting back in there in a greater quantity. And also Power Cube went away. Yeah, community loves Power Cube. What else do I got? Oh yeah, a little tease about what I'm up to is we have started making plans for recording more Salt Circles in about a month. And we'll have a good 2 months of recording time. And hopefully we can get enough. And our plan is theoretically to go ham and get like a year's worth of podcasts knocked out in like 2 months. This 2-month window where Ben is physically separated from his family. So we'll see how it goes. But the big tease I'll give is I've built a list of Dragon Ball Z filler episodes for us to watch and talk about. And I'm pretty excited. Yeah. Kind of short one this week, but I think I'm kind of fucking spent on stuff. It's hard because like my brain is definitely caught up in other stuff I want to do, right? So I don't have stuff that I'm doing right now. Deck wise in Gladiator, I'm still like I played my normal deck. I've been experimenting with Dark Jeskai. I've been experimenting with Temur Scapeshift, Turn Scapeshift in Gladiator. I tried an Esper Flash deck that I'm not really happy with. My Esper Counterspell Reanimate with like a hint of reanimation. That deck's done really well. I had like one bad loss, but I won like 10 games. That my win rate with that deck is still absurd. It's like 87%. I'm like 14-2. It's like crazy. Yeah. Anyway, I just didn't have that much this week. I need to come up with a topic now that I'm magicked out, I think, for a little bit. We'll see. Thanks for listening.